Welcome to Lesson 4. This is part 2 of 5 parts. Be sure you have completed all prior Lesson 4 videos before watching this one. In this segment, we're going to look at the timeline view and how to customize it. If you have been following along, the timeline is likely not visible. Use the Gantt chart dropdown to select the Gantt chart with timeline view. Note that if your entire project is not available in the Gantt chart pane, the timeline will have two vertical lines showing that time frame. For the purposes of the screenshot on this slide, I used entire project to make sure the whole project was visible. The timeline is currently empty. However, when properly populated, will provide an exceptional summary view that can be easily copied and pasted into other documents such as status reports or executive briefings. Let's add the overall project phases, the planning milestone, and the launch of the public portal to the timeline. There are a small number of tasks that summarize key points in the project. Since the public web portal is a task in the public launch phase, we might just want to make it a call-out, so the timeline bars are the phases only. Note the milestone was already added this way, and we don't have to change it. You can copy many different views and segments of plans into a variety of formats for inclusion in other documents such as email, presentations, status reports, or briefs. In this navigation session, I'm going to set up the timeline view. The first thing we need to do is to expose the timeline view above the Gantt chart. I can do that by clicking on Gantt chart, coming to More Views, and then choosing Gantt with Timeline. You'll notice that I have a vertical bar here, and that's because only this portion of the project is showing right now. Well, I can fix that because I can first of all move the pane over a little bit, and then I can go to View and choose Entire Project. Now I need to add the items to the timeline. Clicking on the timeline, I bring up the list of tasks, and we want to put in the planning phase, the internal launch phase, the public launch phase. We also wanted to highlight the milestone, plan completed, and an important task to ending the project, which is launching the public web portal. So I select those and I click OK. Notice the timeline is almost complete now. I have the bars representing the phases here. I'm just going to choose Launch Public Web Portal, and I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to choose Display as Callout. And there you have it. I have my timeline view all set up. Now you'll notice that I can also right-click here, and I can do copies. So I can bring my Word document to the forefront, paste, and now I've got just one piece of the timeline. Let's take that out and go back to my project view. I can come up to the Format, Copy, and I can copy the timeline, and notice that I can do it for email, for presentation, or full size. Let's just choose for presentation. So now I should have the entire timeline. Go back to my Word document. Now it doesn't quite fit right, but that's easy to fix. I can choose page layout, change my orientation to landscape, and there I have my timeline in a Word document now. So the timeline is a very powerful tool for communicating to executives and other senior people in your organization or senior stakeholders. So that ends this navigation session, and we're going to keep the timeline up here now going forward. Now it's time for you to practice. Add the phases, milestone, and launch public web portal task to the timeline, making the task a callout. When you are done, resave your file. Lesson 4 consists of 5 parts. You just completed part 2 of 5. Please proceed to watch part 3.